Today, I'm joined by Bernicia Boateng, makeup artist, entrepreneur, and more recently, founder of Enoléh, a luxury hair brand redefining how women experience wigs. Enoléh is a brand built not just on product, but on perspective, encouraging women to embrace versatility and redefine beauty on their own terms. So, let's find out why she's a lady who launched.
Ignition sequence 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have liftoff.
Before we get into it, if you love this episode, which I know you're gonna, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Well, I'm so excited you're here. This is like, I watch on, and obviously we see things, not everybody always gets time to catch up, but I watch on, I suppose mostly via Instagram, and I'm like, I love what you're doing. I love what you're building. I also love that it wasn't the most obvious thing for you. It wasn't, because you always look incredible. But I would think that we were going to go into makeup. But I suppose by default, by what you do. And I love that this is where we are. So I've got so much to talk to you about. But first of all, I will start by saying I'm very proud and I love to see it happen. So well done. Because I want to talk about what you've done thus far, but I really want to make this about Enoléh because I know this is such a big chapter for you. Take us back to sort of the idea that Enoléh came to life. Like, what was that light bulb moment that you thought, okay, this is where I need to be?
Well, thank you so much, first of all, for having me. This is actually my first ever podcast of all time.
See, this is even better. Let the confetti cannon off.
And to be doing it with you means a lot because you know how much I love you. I think you're incredible. And you're one of the women I honestly look up to in business and just your overall personal brand. I think you're incredible.
You're so kind.
Let's go back to your question.
Look at our little loving. That was such a loving from us, guys.
So let's go back to your question, like what made me think of Enoléh? Well, for me, it's interesting because a lot of people look at me and think makeup and makeup only. And they're right. I have been doing makeup for the last 16 years now. I started makeup when I was 18 and now I'm about to be 35 years old. So it's been a long time and I love what I do. I truly enjoy what I do, but I think the market has it on lock. If I'm honest, I think there will be a time in my life where I will contribute to the beauty industry, but I think I'm happy with where that is.
Do you know what? That's so interesting. It's such a sort of humble and real thing to say because we can all be so swept up in what we do and our creativity and our point of difference and our take on something. But for you to say, for now, for me, and I suppose over your 16-year sort of experience in working in that space, you are so lucky that you have worked with some incredible brands and you continue to do that in that makeup space. But I think it's a really kind of, I love that take on it, that actually I love what I do and I'm so passionate about makeup, but the industry has this on lock and I'm not sure what value I would add to that space right now.
I think that's exactly what it is. I think for me, I'm so intentional about everything I do. When I decided to be a makeup artist all those years ago, it's because I never saw myself in that community. Like I wouldn't look in the magazines and necessarily see women that look like me. So it became a big thing for me to make sure that dark-skinned women are represented well, that we look put together, that we look beautiful, that we can have second skin makeup and we don't always have to have, the full-on coverage and the heavy makeup and whatever. We can be any type of woman. And because I couldn't see that, from the age of 16, I want to say even as far as 15, it was like, I want to fill that gap. And it had been like, yes, I'm going to do it. And I'm the kind of person that I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm the biggest businesswoman in the world because I'm brand new to business. That's the truth of it. But one thing that's carried me from the beginning of my journey is being passionate and being relentless about what I believe in. So being 16 years old and getting my first ever, 18 years old and getting my first ever what is it called? Your Christmas temp job. So
Yes.
I worked as a Christmas temp. My first ever makeup job was at MAC. I got to university and I was like, do you know what, Mum and Dad, I'm at uni because you guys want me at uni. I'm from
Wow.
a very Ghanaian household and there was no such thing as you're not going to university. You are going by force. But I said, you know what? I'll give them what they want. But the minute I get there, I want to do more makeup.
And was it really instant, like, for you when you sort of had that temp job and because obviously, like, Mac is like the kind of
Oh, and those days,
holy grail, isn't it? Like,
I was absolutely a queen for working at Mac. Like, back then, to work at Mac in 2009, 2010,
that's like huge.
it was levels, number one. And also it was like, you couldn't just get a job at Mac. You had to
No.
do a makeup test and you had to bring a model and you'd have somebody like watching you and watching the way that you apply makeup. Like, to get into the makeup industry those days was so hard. So for me, when I got that job, I was like,
This is
I'd
it.
made it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. You can be passionate about something and then you can have an experience like that and you can where it's so sort of, well, you've got to be such a people person. It's not just your love of makeup, is it? It's kind of the skill set of dealing with people, of making somebody feel incredibly special and making, bringing out that confidence in someone. I mean, I've been around you and I could understand how that is like second nature to you. Like, is that something that felt really instant?
honestly, it's who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the truth of it. I feel like growing up, I was always the kid that was always making everyone laugh.
Yeah.
So my dad would always be like, "You're such a clown." I'm not a serious person in the slightest. And my biggest thing is leaving people with a smile on their face.
You're a real hype woman.
Oh, yeah.
I get that from you. No, but I mean, for example, we're very lucky in what we do. We're around makeup, and obviously now you've had that experience in that space. And for me, I'll be on TV or I've been in a girl band, and getting glammed is a big part of the day to day. Sometimes to the point where I'm like, I can't be bothered to have glam today. Today was one of them. I'm like, I'm doing my own.
You look gorgeous.
Thank you very much. When I look at like my girlfriends and my girl group, having their makeup done is a treat. It's like a big birthday. It's their wedding day. So those kind of big moments that can be quite scary, you are the sort of person that somebody wants by their side, sort of making them feel super special.
I think that also comes from me being someone that didn't always feel beautiful when I was young. And I hate to say it because now I know who I am and I know how God created me is exactly how I'm meant to be. And if anything, now I'm at a point where I just know how to make my skin glow even more. Like, back then, being younger, being dark skinned, you would be, not like it was frowned upon necessarily, but it wasn't exactly celebrated.
Yeah.
Which would leave you feeling insecure. Now we're in a different place, but I always felt like with my friends, especially the ones that look just like me, I loved giving them lots of compliments and telling them like, I've learnt this new thing in makeup and just look at how glowy your skin looks. And oh my God, the chestnut lip liner for the dark skin girls. That's like, it's tea. Like, even before those things were a thing, it was like, I loved to hype up women that I know had similar kind of upbringing as me and maybe had that same kind of like feeling of not feeling the most confident. That's where it stems from. But then I also feel like as a makeup artist, one of the strongest things and one of the most powerful things that you have as a makeup artist is the ability to actually change the way someone feels and how they perform and have a lasting impression on them. So for me, it's like, it's one thing to be an artist, but it's a completely different thing to be a part of someone's team.
Yes.
And, like, I've got one of my favorite clients. I've worked with Michaela Cole for like 10 years. I mean, not stretch it, like let's say about 10 years, like a decade. But the reason why, regardless, there's been times where I've made mistakes. She's going to kill me for saying this. But there's been times where I've made mistakes with her makeup and she's maybe not had the perfect finish. But she'll always come back and be like, B, I want you on my team. And it's not just about these two hands, because there are so many women are so incredibly talented, but the way you make people feel is the reason you will always be sat back in that chair, mistake or no mistake.
Do you know what? That is so true and so powerful. And like, I like to think I've been in this industry since I was 12 years old, and it's not always because I'm the best at my job. Of course I make mistakes. I might have said the wrong line. I might have been a bit nervous one day. And I'm learning as I grow still. We always are. But I always like to think that I'm good to work with.
Yeah.
I like to sort of make everybody feel like we're a team. And that, for me, I think it does speak volumes. Of course, you can have all the talent in the world, but if people want you around, that says a lot about you and your character.
Yes, and I always speak about like intrinsic value and extrinsic value. So your intrinsic value, as you know, are the things that as a person you hold that. So one of my intrinsic values is that I'm a makeup artist. I'm also somebody that comes with an abundance of love to give in the most natural form way. People want you around for the things that it's not easy to replace you for.
Yes.
So when I speak to, the next generation of makeup artists or girls that come to me for mentoring or anything, I always say, your external values will always make you somebody that holds value, but your intrinsic values, the things that aren't easy to replace about a person, that's what keeps you in the room. That's what makes sure that people leave you and they feel like you've added value to them. So my value I add to you is not the eyeshadow I put on your eyes or the lip gloss I put on your lips. Oh, although girl, it is incredible, but it's that feeling, is that wanting for us to build something. I also understand that I don't need to be the star in every room I walk into. And that's not to say that, you guys see me on social media. I love to post my pictures and, give it my, little diva moments. And that's great. But when I'm on set as a makeup artist, I'm there to be your support system. I'm there to be your backup, your backup dancer.
This is so...
that's my job.
Yeah. And do you know what? You've nailed the kind of... Because it's a real fine line. Isn't it? It's a real fine...
Rochelle, if I'm doing your glam, we are doing Rochelle. It's about, girl, it's about you. And I think that as a professional in this industry, there is a fine line.
Yeah.
And, it's important to understand and respect your clients. And when you get there, you'll find it much easier to build long-term relationships. For me, I don't judge myself based on how many clients have I had. There are loads of artists that have got loads of clients. It's how many times do people come back to you? And that's even been a huge thing for me when creating Enoléh. It's incredible to have a brand that so early on people are interested in it and people love it and it's beautiful. But do you know what? When I became really excited about Enoléh, the second drop, and the same people that bought on the first drop came back for the second drop. And I said to myself, I'm shadowing what I did in makeup. I'm bringing it into this side of my business as well.
This is where it gets so interesting, because you're so right. And I remember saying this when I launched My Little Coco. You have this, we can't deny it, the privilege of the kind of following and people that that really support you, that you've built that over time, right? And that is a privilege to have. We're not sort of fresh out the gates not knowing who might buy this, because we've sort of over time naturally, organically built those people that are here with us. They'll buy it and that's lovely, but I'm not going to get excited about what happens first. I'm going to get excited if that bottle of baby moisturizer runs out and they think, oh, I'm running out of that, I need to go back and get it again. That's when we get excited, because that's how we know we've done something that actually, that repeat purchase and that loyal customer, you've now created something that they're excited about and that they all of a sudden need in their lives. And that's, I think, for me, when I realised that I was really onto a winner,
Oh, honey, you've been onto that winner. Like, My Little Coco is absolutely incredible. You should be so proud.
I love you. So I think you said something really interesting there. What happens with hair and makeup actually sits so nicely. When you think about a glam team, it's hair, makeup and styling, right? So there's the world that they kind of intertwine so nicely together. And ultimately, going back to what you're saying, is making women feel great. When did you realise that, okay, like you say, at the minute I love makeup, but I don't feel like I've got value to add at the minute that feels different. I feel like I'm really excited about what all these big brands are doing. But when it comes to hair, how did you feel that you could change the kind of path that was happening in that space and really add Bernicia to that category?
For me, wigs, I feel like wigs and extensions, right? There are so many different reasons why women choose to wear extensions, choose to wear wigs. And I think being a dark-skinned Black woman, we're often pinned with this stigma that we wear extensions because we're not proud of our hair. And we're often pinned with this stigma that actually we want to be something that we're not. But for me, I remember being in university, and I've worn extensions for a long time for a very good reason. But I remember being almost bullied for wearing extensions, like, wiggy and this and that. And I believe in, for me, if you bully me about something, best believe I'm going to turn it around and make some money off what you think you're going to bully me about. Like, I'm going to turn the narrative. And I believe that that is our power as women, okay, as people.
This is Ladies Who Launch Girl, as women here.
Well, as women, I believe that we can turn anything into something profitable, something that adds value, and something that adds confidence. And those are the three metrics that I kind of build my life off.
Preach.
So being a woman that was kind of looked at like, why are you always wearing extensions? We've never seen your real hair. Well, the truth is, I have traction alopecia, and that's not something I chose to have. It was something that just happened to me. And, you know, everybody knows I'm obsessed with my mother. Like, she's my queen. She's the reason I'm in this industry. But I remember growing up in the 90s and my mum moving to, you know, the UK. Her biggest thing was to survive. So me being 8 years old and needed my hair to be getting a treatment or getting my braids done like by someone with really soft hands or whatever, that wasn't necessarily her that wasn't high up on her priority list. Her priority list was, I need to work, I need to hustle, I need to put you guys through school, I need me and your dad to come together and do X, Y, and Z. And unfortunately, I feel like there are a lot of women who grew up in the 90s like I did, who might have come from parents, like especially African parents, Ghanaian, Nigerian, wherever, who were in a similar situation where our hair was just not the priority for our parents. And then I might cry when she's putting a comb through it. So now I've got to go and get braids. And you know how bad it is to have that much treatment in your hair and then go and get braids or whatever. So a lot of women my age, from our backgrounds, where we grew up, have traction alopecia and we're ashamed of it. So a lot of people do opt for wigs and extensions. But what I believe is, I'm not bad for wanting to wear extensions. Just let me wear some good quality extensions. And that's a part of the reason I wear wigs. And then as I've grown up in this industry, it's now become a statement of beauty. For me, your hair is your crown. And whether my hair is growing naturally out of my head or not, I know there are beautiful options for you to have gorgeous hair extensions, wigs, hair extensions that make you feel empowered and make you present as your best self.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in, if you look good, you do good. And if you do good, of course, you can achieve anything. So for me, it always starts at that baseline of, how do I feel? How do I look? It's not about the texture of hair, the color. I believe that women, we can decide to be whoever we want to be on any given day. And your hair has a huge part to do with that.
Of course.
So I'm no longer ashamed of, you can't call me wiggy because I'm wearing the most gorgeous wigs in the world.
But I am the business.
But it's a business. Like, if you want, you can call me wiggy.
And it's about you changing that narrative for yourself
and
too.
this is it. And I believe that, you know, it's so important to be able to take even something that once upon a time felt like a negative. You can spin it you can always spin it around and do whatever you want.
Can I read? There was a gorgeous interview from you in Marie Claire, and I thought it was so special. I want to read this quote. It's from you, but I just think it's articulated so well. You said, for Black women, hair has never just been hair. It's been political, it's been policed and endlessly scrutinised. The decision to wear extensions, wigs or protective styles has been shunned and judged, framed as inauthentic or deceptive, as if our beauty must exist within someone else's rules to be valid. We're asked to explain ourselves, to justify our choices, to perform a version of authenticity that is never fully ours. The narrative is deeply harmful. Enoléh was created to push back against that noise. Wearing extensions is not about hiding. It can be about creativity, ease, protection, confidence, or just joy. It can be practical, it can be playful, it can be powerful. Enoléh exists to help Black women reclaim pride in their choices and to offer a premium, affirming space where they are celebrated rather than scrutinised. I mean, it's so powerful. And one thing I'll say is it's so visible what you're doing. And what I love for you is that you're really trailblazing for me in this category and in this space, because what you've done is you're not, okay, the wigs are incredible, they're great quality hair, etc., but what you've done is you've given it's a brand, it's a a feeling, there's an aesthetic there, you've given it personality. And I think that's what's really, really exciting. It's like the chicest fucking thing I've ever seen. It looks like when you were first working on something, I was like, what is she teasing? Is this like, Net-a-Porter's new competitor? Or is this like, it just looks so, like I wasn't even sure what it is. And I love what you've done there. And I think in business, it's not necessarily reinventing the wheel. Like I wasn't the first person to launch a baby brand, but to add a bit of sort of spice and a personality and, do something in a way that really aligns with you is what is powerful. And I think you've done such an incredible job because it comes from a place of such meaning, but you've made it really sexy, which I think is hard. So I've got so many questions about this. Like, when you knew this is what you wanted to do, who you want to speak to, the women that you want to you're like, girl, I've got this, I've got you, we're going to do this. What was the kind of first idea or that first sort of step on that vision board when you were developing this?
Okay, so first of all, thank you so much. That means so much to me that
It's
you
true.
you
It's
view
true.
it in that way. Thank you. Okay, so when it comes to the aesthetic, the vibe, the feel of Enoléh, I always say it's my point of view. So Enoléh is literally my point of view in physical form.
Ooh.
And the reason why I decided when I was starting Enoléh, I'm not going to look at anybody else's hair brand because I'm not a hairstylist. I'm not a hairstylist. I don't actually know how to do hair. I know how to kind of make my hair look cute, but it really is my point of view in physical form. And for me, I'm naturally very fashion adjacent. Yes, I'm a makeup artist, but I've worked in fashion for years.
Oh, you're a fashion girl. We know.
I love fashion, and I wanted to bring the product to life in a way that it's being honored, especially because the messaging behind Enoléh is so deep to me, my insecurities, and I believe in if you can polish anything up and have it be lit. So I'm very, East London.
Love it.
You can make anything lit. Like I hadn't seen a hair brand, a black hair brand, put a product out that was fashion adjacent, that had a personality, that felt like a true brand, that, was something we would be proud to buy from, proud to be in the campaign, should be in magazines, it should be visible. And when I was starting Enoléh, it was all of those things. It was me as a makeup artist, me as somebody that sat on set of fashion magazines and, editorial campaigns for the last 15 years. It was the women that are around me that speak and act and are so elegant and just fantastic. And it was bringing all of those experiences together and putting it into this brand that once upon a time represented something that brought me shame. How do I make this look like pride? How do I make this look like love for my people? How do I make this something that they are proud of? You cannot look at an Enoléh woman and tell me she's wiggy or she's this. She's bad. She's bad. That's what she is. She's beautiful. She's normally black. We are doing hair for every woman. But, at the beginning of Enoléh, I think it's important to know the DNA.
Yes.
And the DNA is dark-skinned black women who've gone through similar things as myself. And that's what we did. So even in our campaign, we had Nilly. Nilly's this gorgeous, gorgeous girl. And she's in the first Enoléh campaign and she's wearing the Bernicia Bob. And she's someone that's gone through cancer.
Wow.
And her story just hit so hard because she's this gorgeous woman who's so confident, has so much that she's doing with herself. She's like an absolute force, but she's dealt with cancer. And again, it was turning her pain into pride. And if you go on her social media, guys, honestly, go and follow her. Nilly's fantastic. And she has an incredible charity as well for women with cancer. And literally, I was so intentional about every person I wanted to work with, down to my photographers, videographers, everybody was someone that means something and has a story and has a journey. And, it's incredible to just be able to put my personality, my thoughts, my experiences, and what I've seen visually in this industry into a brand, and for it to be so well received. So I'm really
It's so
excited.
you. It's you. There's no one person that could argue with the fact that everything you're saying, even now, if you're listening to this and you haven't yet stumbled across Enoléh, how when you hear Bernicia speak in the way she has, and then you go and check out Enoléh, you're like, it's there. You'll understand it. It's instant. I want to know, because you're so nailed on in what you want Enoléh to be, how you want that executed from a sort of creativity standpoint, from a product development standpoint, from, the community that you've built. So what I want to know is, when it comes to, and you touched on this at the beginning of our conversation, when it comes to actually launching a business, this whole being in the business realm is very, very new to you. What was the first move that you made? And I'm very similar to this. Obviously, now I've got my head around a lot more than when I started, but I'm you. Creativity, I understand what this brand is. I could be a brand consultant for a lot of people, but when it comes to the kind of business and the behind the scenes, what was the most scary to you, and what did you need the most help with?
The scariest thing is, for me, when we first started, or before launch day, by the way, like 3 days before launch day, I don't think I slept. I was literally stressed out, anxiety, scared. It's my first real business. I've had business in the past where I had like my makeup studio, but that's completely different because it's my two hands and I trust what I can do. But
Yes.
this was a
And
different,
it's not product based,
and it's not
right?
product
Mhm.
based. For me, it was like, are people gonna buy this?
Mm.
Is it gonna sell?
But what about even before you reach that stage?
Yeah.
What about like actually going, okay, I know what I want this to be. How do I find a supplier? What's the right margin I need to hit? Where are we at with budgeting? Like, did you have someone that you lent on
Yes.
instantly, or
I have a business partner,
okay,
and
tell me
my
everything.
business partner is incredible. He's one of my best friends.
Amazing.
And literally, I remember calling him up and being like, this was maybe 2.5 years before we actually launched Enoléh. So Enoléh was in the works for almost 2.5 years before it went to market. And I called him and I was like, I need to do something with hair extensions because there's a cap in the market for a brand that represents us in the right way and that is given nothing but top-notch quality and top-notch branding and just positioning. We need to do it. And he was like, do you know what? I trust you, because he trusts my vision. But the difference is, and my sister Lisa will vouch for me when I say this, is I'm a creative. I'm someone that's really good at making things look good. So I'm good at making people look good. I'm good at making my Instagram look good. I'm good at making everything look polished. But am I the most organized? No. Am I like the person that's going to read all of the finer details? No, I'm extremely dyslexic and a bit ADHD. And I get hyperfixated on one area, which for me is normally how the way things look, how they feel. Is it on brand? Is it this? Is it that?
Yes.
But Enoléh could not be Enoléh without my business partner. Like, it just couldn't, because he's made sure that behind the scenes, everything's seamless. Everything's perfect. And I lean on him a lot for creativity as well, but also just us kind of building this out to be something we've never seen before. Because I think sometimes when you're creating something from your own lens, it's hard to look at another brand or another business similar to yours and be like, I want it like this. Because the
Yes.
truth is, it's not been done the way you're doing it. So we're learning everything for the first time, which was scary. So before we launched, my biggest thing was, okay, so I thought of this idea. I'm one of those people that have a new idea all the time, like, and I want to go in this direction now and this, that, and the other. But it was like, can you actually really make this a business? And then after launch, I was like, yeah, I can.
Yes. Yes. And having that confidence, like you say, just knowing that it's all great in theory, but it's only great if someone's going to buy it. And that's kind of, I really love that, like you're saying, you've got your business partner. And are you very clear on like your roles and responsibilities? And do they ever collide?
They do kind of like collide at times. Like I said, even though he's more does everything around the business and I'm more like the creative, the way the business looks, the ways it feels, all of like the marketing and all of that front facing stuff, there are still times where he's like, B, I've seen this. This is a sick reference. Let's do this. Like, he's like, reads a lot.
And
so
how do you read his references?
I'm like,
Yeah.
that's so cute.
Okay, leave
I'll
it
let
with
you
me.
know. I'll put it in the mood board.
Yeah. I'll try and make that work, honey. You leave that to me. But I think it's really, because I think that's one thing where a lot of people sort of make mistakes early on. And I was very clear on like, this is mine. And, you know, I'm so passionate about this, but I am the bones of the brand. I am the creativity. That is, you know, that's me. The product development. I am like, this is mine. But if you asking me to look at commercials and margins, and no, that's not me. So
I'm just a girl.
Yeah,
No,
I'm just a girl. And I want it to be the best it can be, but I don't know how to make it get there. So I'm really happy to lean on you over there doing that, but you leave this side to me.
But also I believe that, you know, it's almost like having a child, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who your child is on day one is not who they're going to be even 3 months from now.
Correct.
So we are both growing in business and as people. And so what I might need help with now, that's going to slightly change a year from now. I might, you know, this is my first ever business. So essentially I don't know the things that he knows because he's had other businesses in the past and he has a lot more knowledge on that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
but then he's also not had this business.
But he hasn't had this business.
Learning, isn't it?
So we're learning, and through this journey, what's incredible is what I was asking him questions about maybe in November, 6 months on, I don't need to ask those questions now, I know. And I can only imagine how that's going to evolve in another 6 months or another year. So, yeah. I'm always saying...
the best way to know is to throw yourself in the deep end. And I've really found that. I mean, I never went to business school. I don't have a business degree, but I've got a couple of businesses. And I think that's...
And they're amazing.
Thank you. But that's one thing I always want to teach my kids too, is that like sometimes it is just throwing yourself in the deep end. Like being a sponge, like you say, like November last year, there was lots that you didn't know and you didn't understand around the launch. But now you're like, okay, yeah, I've got that. This is what we do, right? Like you're in, and it's kind of... if you've got great people that you can learn from and be on that journey with, like always take advantage of that. Ask all the questions,
100%.
soak it all up.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. Like 100% just do it. Like my biggest advice to anybody that wants to start something new or is, you know, scared about making a change or doing whatever is just do it. Like I've done that throughout my entire career. I'm never too scared to reinvent myself. I'm never too scared to like level up the way that I might do my content. Like over the years, the way I look as a person has transformed and changed and has evolved. And as women especially, that is one of our most incredible hidden, like, you know, what should I even call it? Like
it's like a skill set in itself.
It's like a skill set in itself. You can be whoever you want to be. And there is no box that you can be put in. Like, I refuse to be put in a box.
Yeah,
that's my favorite thing. I'm like, oh, you expected a makeup product? Well, you've got wigs. And we're going to rock it. And we're going to give it the same vibe. Like, just do it. Don't be scared.
And like you say, like we're such like multifaceted creatures. Like they're like onions, aren't we? There's so many layers to us. And you don't just like makeup. You don't just like clothing. You know, there is so much more to us, and there are so many ways that this can go. And as I said at the start of the chat, I love that you kind of were like, hang on, no, that's not me. Let me just keep you on your toes here. We're going wigs.
You got to keep them on their toes.
What do you think that this sort of journey so far, and as I said, Enoléh launch
in November, late November last year.
This is so exciting because it's so in its infancy, and what you've already achieved is so incredible. What would you say that this journey thus far, and obviously you've been working on this for 2.5 years, but in those 2.5 years, what would you say that this taught you about yourself?
This taught me that I am someone that is very clear on my vision. And I think, I always say just do it like I just said, but just do it with a clear vision.
Oh, that's good.
It's a little add-on.
Little caveat there.
Yeah, just a little caveat. Like, understand who you are, where you place yourself.
Yeah.
Try your hardest not to look at competition too much. Like, with me, it's taught me that if I believe in myself, I can achieve anything. If I truly sit down. And I know that's like the most cliche thing you can say, believe in yourself. But truly, if you trust your gut, if your gut is talking to you, and I feel like for me, I'm a Christian and I believe when my gut's talking to me, that's God talking to me. When something has been put on my heart to do, I'm doing it. Come rain, come shine, hailstone, snow, we're doing it.
Yes.
And understanding that God said to me, you are going to create something and it's going to feel like you. It's going to be an extension to your personality, your style, your vision, and it's going to speak to the woman that you are. And that was always at the forefront of my mind. So even when I was looking at my, you know, I remember like a couple of years ago, I was like, I want to buy this bag. And then I looked at all the stuff that I've got to pay for Enoléh. I was like, all right, next year
that
then.
can wait.
It can wait.
Yeah.
And it's like having that in your spirit to understand that this is what I'm trying to achieve. This is what we're going to do. This is the aesthetic we're going for. We're not changing that because this didn't happen on time. Because in business, that's the thing. I remember we were doing our first ever campaign, which we actually shot about a year before we actually launched. It was a big shoot. And in my head, I was like, I want it to feel like the Zara shoots I've worked on or this campaign.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. You've got so much to, I mean, almost living in this world of comparison by like launching your own shoot on a Monday and then on a Wednesday you're doing makeup
I'm launching a wigs and bundles brand and I'm looking, my references are literally Vogue. I'm like, that's where I want to be. That's where we deserve. That's the levels. Like we had a huge camera crew. We did everything. We got styling. We got, you know, the best photographers. And thank God for every single person who worked on our first ever campaign. And now we're gearing up for our next campaign. And I'm like,
that's what sets you apart. And that's exactly what I mean. I didn't know when there were like teasers. I was like, I wonder what she's doing. Like, because it's so gorgeous to see, you know, a business doing what you're doing and producing what you are in that editorial. Like, it's so shocking, and I've not seen anyone do it in that way before, which is why it's so exciting.
Thank you, but I always say, sorry to cut you, but I always say like, don't, like I said, just do it right. But the biggest thing is, if you can feel in your spirit that you need to execute something on this level, you actually might have to go about buying certain things some months. I'm like someone that, you know, some people see me and be like, oh, she loves to look good, whatever. I went without so much because of this vision that I've been given that I need to fulfill for women who are like me. And I'm like, just work those extra hours.
Yeah.
Save that extra bit more. I wasn't flossing.
It was like a higher purpose.
Yeah, it was
for
like
you.
it's
You're
a higher purpose.
And it also instantly kind of it instantly becomes a bit of a leveler, doesn't it? Like, okay, none of that stuff's actually important because I'm getting to here, and that's kind of, I suppose, it becomes your focus
and
it
I can
becomes
imagine
your driving
you
force.
As a businesswoman that's absolutely crushing it. Like you've been killing it for ages, and I see how hard you go. Like this, before we walked in here, I said, Rosh, like, how do you do it? Because I'm looking at you, you look stunning, you've got kids, you've got a marriage, you've got all of this going on. And you said, B, I just have to make sure I know what I'm doing. Yeah. And that's it. That's the stage that I'm in now, because I don't like to pretend I'm this big businesswoman, because I'm not. I'm a baby to it. So even like coming here, I was like, I need to ask Rochelle some questions.
Yeah, but everyone's a baby to it to someone else. Like I have women sit in that chair over there and I'm like, once we're finished here, I'm like, what do you think about this? Can you help me with this? It depends who's stood next to you, right? Everyone's a baby somewhere, and we've only, you know, I've been doing this, I hate saying 6 or 7 now, because all I hear is my kids going 6, 7. But I've probably been doing this 6 or 7 more years than you. But, you know, and then I sit and I'm interviewing Jo Malone, and so I think, and that's the beauty of this, being able to have conversations with different women. But I think one thing that we all have in common is that we've just developed that sort of fearless attitude, and we've got that clarity in knowing what we want, and we're decisive in knowing what we want. We just got to find a way to execute
This is it.
Is there anything that surprised you about yourself? Because, you know, like you said, your motto is always just do it, and that's what you've kind of done. Is there anything that surprised you about yourself so far along the way?
Yeah, there's been a few things that surprised me. I can endure. Like, I've learned that I have a very high threshold for hard work. Like, I'm the kind of person that can literally wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning, work a whole day, be told that I've got to attend an event, I've got a red carpet, and I will be at every single one of them. So I don't know if that's necessarily the best advice, but this whole process has taught me that, Bernicia, you can carry a lot on your shoulders and you can endure, but in a way that's like benefits your business and benefits yourself. Like you can put certain things in order and make sure that you get it all done. I think a couple of years ago, I was very chill. I'm like, okay, I've got a shoot tomorrow. I'm going to shoot some content in the evening. I'm going to have an early night, do my skincare, do my wind down, and go to bed. That's like
some days you're like, I miss those days.
I miss those days.
Making content for just other people when it wasn't so high pressured. I know.
And it's crazy because now I look at my life and I'm like, I still would never trade any of it for what I'm building in Enoléh. Like, I'm so excited about this project that I feel amped to work like a 12, 13-hour day. I'm like, yep, let's go.
And almost like this was your sort of calling and your higher purpose. But actually, at the same time, it's also super smart because you've actually not taken yourself out of a category that you've nailed. So you're still working with all these incredible brands in the makeup space, which in turn you're still propping up that side of your life. Like, it's actually super smart because if you launch a makeup brand, it would be then hard for you to talk about how great the new YSL mascara is when you've got your own. So I think it's all at the same time as it being something that you're meant to do, it's actually, there's like, if you're talking strategy, like it's super smart because it's meant that you've got that avenue of income that's still open for yourself at the same time.
I think that was a really big thing for me as well. Like I said, I think if it came on my heart to create something in beauty, I would have done it. But I genuinely love what the beauty industry is doing, like the products at the moment. I think we're in a good place. And I was like, one day I believe that it will maybe happen and it will be the best product you've ever seen because it has to be right. And that's me. Like with Enoléh, the hair is going to shake every time. This wig is 4 years old.
That I can't. I keep watching it. Honestly, it's incredible.
Incredible, but this is it. I'm so big on quality. Like the hair itself, I've been working with my vendors for years before I even thought of making the business. I've been buying directly from them, so I know they're good. I've met with them. Their products are incredible. It's sustainable. They do things the right way, and I love them. But for me, it was like, I can't bring out a beauty product right now because I don't think that I have something that I can add to this industry that hasn't been done before and is going to give them something completely
Which
new.
I love. It's really honest and it's really kind of like, I love that you've left your ego at the door there and said, like, you know what am I going to do at the minute that is different to the incredible stuff that's happening? But hey, guess what? I can do a lot.
You trip on yourself if you've got too much ego.
Correct.
I am so real. Like, also, my whole thing is like, as a makeup artist, I'm always in the background. I'm used to like making other people the star and like making them look good and feeding their ego. Because in that moment, I don't need to have the biggest ego. I don't need to have chest. I don't need a million compliments today. When it's my time, you're going to know about it. And I'm going to do my flex and do my big one. But I understand that in order to get ahead, sometimes you have to humble yourself and look at it from a bird's eye view.
That's so
if I would have
important,
brought out a makeup brand in this moment in my career, would it have been the best move? I don't think so. I don't think I'm there yet. I don't think I have anything to add that's like, for my name, it would be nice. Bernicia Boateng's got that's cute. But I'm telling you what I want to do.
That's led by ego.
That's led by ego. And that's why you can't really think, especially when you're trying to make business decisions, you can't think with your ego.
Preach.
Because that would have fed my ego, but it would have lost me money or it would have stopped certain things that are thriving right now for me. Whereas with this, I was like, I'm about to really give you some good hair. In the nicest way.
You're so smart. Honestly, I love it. I love to see it. Bernicia, if we were to sort of sit down in 2 years' time, say, and we're like, you know, like you say, we're talking at the start of April, you launched in November. So we're in that gorgeous like honeymoon phase of the business. Well, you know, you're really seeing the growth in certain areas and figuring out what might be next. If we were to sit down again in 2 years, how would you like the conversation to go? What would you like to say Enoléh is doing, or, you know, where would you like to see Enoléh in the next couple of years?
In the next couple of years, I would want to see Enoléh being sold everywhere. I'd want Enoléh to be one of Net-a-Porter's first hair brands.
Yes.
That's what we need. We
Yes,
need
thank
that
you.
premium delivery, same day delivery.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks
Enoléh, I
very
need the
much.
frontal and I need it now.
Yes.
Enoléh having so many more textures. At the moment, we're actually developing our own yaki textured hair, which kind
Ooh.
of emulates Black women's natural,
Insane.
you know, Afroist type hair, which is
Mhm.
very exciting. I'd want us to have like a full product range. So we're working on our product range. You know, I'm doing a lot of talking right now.
No, come on, I'm getting it out
We're
of here.
working
Let's get her a drink.
on
She's opening
we're
up.
working on a lot of really exciting things. So those products being launched, us being sold all over, and just the business being in a place where, you know, at the moment, we've been really fortunate. The people who are working with us in terms of like influencers and everything like that, they're all women that some of them are buying the product themselves. Some of
Wow.
them are like, we've got so many people actually creating content without us even having to ask them to.
Yeah.
And so many women that see the vision and they're like, we want to support. We're not going to, you know, do the most when it comes to whatever. Like, they're really supporting. I want to get to a position where I can pay everyone lots of money that they deserve, have the business at a point where we're able to give back in a major way. Like, one thing we did this year that I was so proud of us about was we actually, with the model Nilly that I spoke to you about, and she's had cancer and she has her own charity, we were able to give her charity like a few of our Bernicia Bobs. Those types of things I'd love for Enoléh to continue giving back, and like kind of pulling everyone up as we're growing as well. So yeah.
Incredible. And who would you say, if you were thinking of like your dream retailer, if you were like, okay, that would be a real moment for me. If we're stocked here, that would be like bucket list. Net-a-Porter.
Because I live on the website.
Yeah.
I live on Net-a-Porter.
If you were to go into any store.
Okay, if I was to go into a store, I would say Selfridges. Just because Selfridges has a very, I feel like for me, I love shopping beauty in Selfridges.
Yeah.
It's one of my favourite things
It's such a good destination, isn't it?
It's a really good destination. I think it's cool. It's like trendy. It's edgy. I think it has a lot of personality. And I think Selfridges is definitely ready for Black hair extensions brand with a big personality.
Do you know what?
like
I think
them.
there's something about Selfridges that just gives it that gold star. Like there's almost something that you just feel like that is a moment.
Yeah. It's like Selfridges is cool. It's fun.
Yeah.
Like you know you're gonna go into Selfridges. There's gonna be a DJ in there. You'll be dancing.
Yes.
Like it's a vibe.
And I suppose it would be a moment for the brand in a way of like, wow, they understand what we're doing here. Like this is Selfridges. This is our leading department store.
100%. And you know, with the price point of Enoléh, it is a little bit more premium luxury. So
it needs to sit in that premium space.
And that's exactly
well,
where
let's
we'll
put it
be
all
going.
out there to the universe.
Guys,
I want to do a rocket round now.
Yes.
Which I love. I ask all of our guests the same 8 questions. The first one is, I mean, this is supposed to be quick fire round. So let's see how we get on. Normally we waffle for a little bit. What are the non-negotiables for running a business, do you believe?
Non-negotiables, you need to know your product inside and out. You need to know your product inside and out. And secondly, you need to know who you're speaking to. Who is your target audience? How does she sound? How does she look? Where does she eat? How does she want to be put together? In what tone of voice will she listen to me? So I think as a business, have a product that's undeniable, a product that adds value, a product that gives your customers a return on their investment, and then know who you're selling to. Know them like you know your best friend.
Yes. Very, very good advice. When did you first realise that you were truly onto something with Enoléh? Was there a particular moment that you were like, this is connecting?
Yes. 2 weeks after we launched, I launched the Bernicia Bob, which is one of my favourite units that we do at Enoléh. Well, it's our first wig that we've actually launched. But the reason I knew after that point was people were instantly obsessed with it. And we sold out first day in 20 minutes, I want to say. All of the units went. And I could not believe it. And that's the moment I said, this business is officially started.
We've got it.
We've got something.
Yes.
And now it's how do we build on that and how do we add more to that? And the reason I chose the Bernicia bob, well, first of all, it's my namesake bob.
Yes.
But
that is so you, though. It's so, like, honestly, it is so you.
It's so chic, it's easy to wear, and it's a nice introductory wig. If you're someone that's like, I don't want the big long wig, that's just going to make me feel, like I'm doing too much, Bernicia bob is where you go. And then also, in terms of length, it's not too much to handle. So, yeah.
Oh, it's perfect. It's like just cut to perfection as well.
Thank
It really, really
you.
is. What is the first thing you do when you wake up and the last thing you do before you go to bed?
First thing I do when I wake up is I pray,
Mm-hmm.
and then I snooze my alarm.
and pray that you can
I'm
have
like, God, please give me 10 more minutes.
Please, God, I need half an hour more.
I snooze my alarm. I put my shark LED face mask
I'm
on.
obsessed with it. Are you?
Babe.
I don't go a day without it,
See, this is going to turn into a beauty conversation.
Which I love, so I'm here for it. Sorry, quick
Rush,
fire round.
literally, the reason the glow is happening, there are 3 products. It's my shark face mask. That has to start my day when I wake up. My vitamin C SkinCeuticals.
Yes, I
that
mean,
one's tea.
this is the best vitamin C. C Frolic, that one.
Oh, look at you.
I know, babe.
Period.
Me and that product go way back.
See,
I wish it smelled
Frolic.
better, but I'm so used to it now.
Well, I'm used to it, to be honest. And also, I feel like there's some skincare products that are just like, okay, cool. I'm not going to love the smell.
It's great.
And then what's another one? My Estee Lauder, of course, my Advanced Night Repair. That goes on morning, noon, and like any time I put it on skin. It's infused with hyaluronic acid, number 1. Yeah. But also, it's just one of those things where I can't live without it. I'm kind of addicted. I've been sleeping
on that product.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, I'm factoring it in.
Don't worry. I'll do you a little bundle. Don't you worry,
This
Queen.
This is why I do this quick fire. I've already learned.
And then to go to bed, I kind of do similar things. I do my LED mask as well at night. And normally, my sister's going to laugh when I say this, but I'm that person that's worn myself out so much throughout the day that I'm like clearly sleeping off. And then Lisa will be like to me, B, are you sleeping? I'll be like, no, I'm up, sis. And then I normally get up, run to the bathroom, do my skincare, and then go to bed.
Yeah, that's it. I love it. Yeah, the day's had its way with you by that point. Is there one piece of advice that you wish you hadn't listened to?
Don't spend so much on your marketing. Like, you want to make loads of money before you start. I personally think go big or go home. Obviously, have it in mind, save for it, prepare for it, but invest and present your business as best as you can, because that first mover advantage is a big thing. And also, people remember you start as you mean to continue. Yes. So, yeah, I'm not saying don't go and spend all the money in the world, but invest where you need to invest.
Like you're saying, you've got such a big product, such an incredible product, but it's only great if people know about it. We had Ayla Moran on from Merit, and I think she gave such a good masterclass in marketing and the importance of it. So it's I think
so important.
Like, to further your point, I just think it's so important, but there are obviously ways of not doing it on a huge budget. Yeah. And I think it is, like you say, knowing who that customer is and speaking to them in the right way.
Yes.
And then
also taste is like really think about how you want this to land from every single angle. And yeah.
And how she wants to receive it as well. It's so, so important. What's a skill that you'd love to learn?
How to multitask.
Oh gosh, tell me when
Guys,
you know.
I can only do one thing at once. If you call me and I'm on the phone to you and then something pops up on my phone, you'll be like talking to me like, Bernicia, what are you doing? And I'm just silent. I'm like, sorry, what did you say?
Yeah.
I'd love to learn how to do multiple things at once. Okay. And I'm learning from my baby sister, Lisa, who does all of my PR and marketing. And literally, Lisa is one of the most intelligent people I've ever met, and one of the people in my life that I feel like she can do 5 things at one time. And shameless plug here, but she's the best in PR, so I absolutely love my baby.
That's not a shameless plug. And I
she's
actually I said this to you before because she's sat the other side of the camera, and you guys are 3.5 years between you both, and I love how close you are. So I'm like really hoping
she's
this is my girl's
big little sister. I'm 3.5 years older than her, but Lisa, she runs the show. She really does. She's the boss lady.
I just pray that my girls have the relationship you have because it's so special, so special. What would be the dream collab for Enoléh? Maybe an ambassador or like a brand on brand collab.
My dream collab
Mhm.
and dream person to work with on Enoléh.
Mhm.
Collab with a brand, it would have to be Nike.
Oh.
Because Nike, Just Do It,
Yeah, that's you.
has literally been the soundtrack to my life for the last, I want to say, 15 years since I
Yeah.
started trying to hustle, and sometimes going through my mind of like, how am I going to do all of these photo shoots and make content? And I'm like, Nike said, just do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
And then celebrity or someone huge that I'd love to see in Enoléh and work with them. If I could have them as the face of Enoléh, Queen Miss Angela Bassett.
Oh, she is a queen, isn't she?
Yes.
Oh, I love
She's
that.
fantastic.
I
I
can
just
see
love
it.
everything she represents.
Yeah.
So me and my sister love her, and we talk about her all the time. She's just so poised. She's a beautiful, strong Black woman, and her hair's always eaten, and she's just looked beautiful in every
Oh, she's
single
11 out of 10.
11 out of
I
10, but
can't.
also she's so much older than us, and just look at her.
Mhm,
Like, I look
mhm.
at her and I'm like, okay, I'm not doing enough. I need to hit the gym.
Yeah,
I need to like
do
stop all of
more.
this.
It's so true. She's
Another
amazing. She's given
person-
us all a bit of a complex, but she's
Right?
amazing. Yeah.
And then another person that I've also followed for years and I'm just obsessed with is Teyana Taylor. I just think she's
wow.
fantastic.
Oh, I see it. I see these collabs happening.
Yeah.
I feel like she
amen.
would, if you met her, I feel like she would fall in love with the brand.
I saw her at the BAFTAs
Mhm.
and she said hi to me and I was like, yeah, love you, babe.
Oh, I love you. I
My
love
queen.
You. I love you so much. I love you so much. But do you know what I love? And I think there's this kind of smart approach now, and you'll know this better than anyone. But we've seen like these smaller brands that have kind of launched and like grown gradually, but had a real spike because they've been really smart in who they've gifted and who they've been around. So we've seen it with a few of them where their tactic is to like, for example, there's that jewelry brand, right? Heaven Mayhem,
Oh,
who
yeah.
is founded by Pia Mance, and she basically gifted Hailey's stylist and her friends and wanted Hailey Bieber to wear the earrings essentially, and basically gifted people that she thought would see it on her. And then by the time that she was ready to send a parcel to Hailey, she'd already seen it.
Oh, wow.
And I think that's quite an interesting strategy. I've heard her talk about it a lot. There's that bikini brand that did the same with Kendall. Their dream was to
Yeah.
have Kendall Jenner in their bikini. She was like up there for them. So she sent it to all her friends and had it around people that she knows that Kendall followed. Like, it's really smart. And then by the time it came to her, she was like, oh, I've seen this because all of her friends have been
See,
wearing
do you know what I love about you? You are always going to give me some advice.
We're
that
not
I hadn't even-
gatekeeping.
We're not gatekeeping. Don't you worry.
That's what this space
Notes
is
are
for.
being taken.
Yeah, but it's smart though,
It's
right?
very
I quite
smart.
like it.
I think that's fantastic.
And then there's the way that they like sort of track down the glam team, and then I don't know, for example, you're doing my makeup. I'm like, where's that wig from? It's insane.
And
It's
then
as quick as that because
it's
they're the people they trust.
smart, isn't
Yeah.
it? Okay.
So
thank
there you go. That's a
you.
different strategy. If you could choose, this is our last one, one female figure as a mentor, past or present, who would that be?
Well, I'm really fortunate to have a mentor like Emma, who is incredible.
We should also say this, that you do Emma Greed's makeup.
Yes, I
whenever
do
she's in
Emma
town.
Greed's makeup whenever she's in London, but even more than being someone that I do their makeup, she's become a friend and a big sister and someone that Emma is someone that I would say she's exactly who she says she is.
Yeah.
When she talks about, being someone that supports the next generation of business women, and especially like us both being from East London, the amount of TLC she gave Enoléh in those early stages, the questions that I was like, oh, I shouldn't ask this to big Emma Greed. She's going to think, what kind of crazy question? And she'd be like, no questions small. You ask me anything. And she'd answer with like just the best tips. And
she's so generous.
she
with her
is
knowledge,
so
her time.
generous and so kind and just an absolute queen. And I love her.
So you've got her on speed dial. You don't need another mentor when you've got Emma Greed.
When you've got Emma Greed, you're good.
This is very, very true. And every episode, I like to sort of leave a tip to every listener. So if a girl is listening to this, or a lady listening to this right now, and they're like, oh my goodness, I love what she has had the guts to do, and I would love to do something in a similar vein, or I'm watching or listening along with admiration. If you were going to leave a tip, almost one piece of advice to somebody listening to this right now, what would that piece of advice be?
My advice to you would be, number one, I've said it a million times, get up and do it, but
Mm.
milk it. As in, you're in this position right now because of who you are, the traction you've been able to build. And I'm in a way also speaking to myself.
Mm.
This position that we're in, even as women sitting here, you're an incredible businesswoman and you're known and you're loved and you're supported. It's not that it's not always going to be like that, but whilst you've got it, whilst you've got the energy, we're still young, we're not in any pain, we're not unhealthy in any way, thank God. Milk it until you can't milk it anymore. The opportunity you have in front of you right here, it's here now. Take that opportunity and run with it. Like, don't be shy, don't be scared, don't overthink what are people going to think. The truth is, your friends and the people that you actually know are not always going to be your customers. When I look through, when I'm looking at my Shopify and I'm like, oh, we did all that today. How many of those are people I went to school with? Or how many of those are people that are like, they are in America or they're here or they're like people who've never met me a day in their lives. So don't be scared. Don't be shy. Create like you've never created before. Post like you've never posted before. If you want to be known for hair, post your hair tutorials until people think of you first when they think of hair. When I started out and I was doing makeup, some of my friends would be like, "Raw, you post like 5 times a day." And I'm like, but now, 15 years on, where are we?
Yeah, exactly.
When people think makeup in the UK, I'd like to think I'm one of the people who are thought of.
So
but it's
true.
because we've drilled it into their minds. So don't be scared. Don't watch or overthink what people might think. Just do you and stay tunnel vision and milk it.
So Susan Yara, who founded Naturium,
Love Naturium.
She is honestly like someone that you need to listen to her episode. She's so inspiring. But one thing that she says is live in the cringe.
Oh, yeah.
And I love it. She's like, do you think I care that I'm posting this much? Do you think I care? She's like, no, like live in it. If it feels cringe, like it's probably right. It's probably the right thing. Like live in that moment, make the most of it and like grab it with both hands. And of course, we're going to do things that slightly, sometimes you're like, oh gosh, is that a bit cringe? Don't worry about it. If it is,
this is what I say to anyone that will listen. Like, you can't watch what people are thinking, saying, whatever. And I will repeat it again and again and again. Just do it, number one. And number two, when you look through your sales, it is not the people calling you cringe that are supporting you.
Absolutely.
It's actually the people that saw what you posted.
And guess what? They didn't find it cringe.
And they didn't, number one, they didn't find it cringe, but it moved them emotionally enough, because a lot of people forget that I'm someone that I make emotional purchases. Most of the things I buy, like I remember buying this top in Airport a few months ago and I was connected to it emotionally. I loved the draping on the side. I knew it would show off my bob. I knew it would bring out my features. And it was an emotional purchase. It didn't matter how much I was spending. And that's because of the way they marketed the product, the video I saw of the woman wearing it and how she was positioned and the way she was connecting with the camera. You have no idea what your piece of cringy content is doing for someone on the other side.
True.
It might be building their confidence. It might be making them think, I have to make this purchase. It might be making them start a conversation about you that will lead to your next sale. So just do it and really don't care about what anybody thinks.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And then lastly, I love asking this question because we talk about ladies who launch, but when it comes to ladies who lunch, I mean, you look like a very chic lady who lunches right now, I have to tell you. How do you typically spend your lunch hour? Is that a thing? Are you just like, it is what it is? When you've got a sort of typical working day on Enoléh, what's your go-to lunch? Where are you and what are you eating?
Oh, okay, I'll be honest. It depends. Every day looks very different for me. Some days, and it depends on what time of the month it is, but some days I want a big fat lunch.
Oh, go on. So what's your big fat lunch of choice?
Big fat lunch. I'll be honest, I'm so Ghanaian through and through. It's always going to be a bit of jollof rice and chicken.
I love it.
Jollof rice and chicken. When I'm trying to be good, I like the salad project. When I'm being like, when I'm being really demure.
Yeah.
Then I'll go and get my cute little salad. I'll get my green juice or my matcha, and I'm keeping it real demure. But it depends on the day.
Yeah.
Some days I'm just like jollof shit or chicken. Hello, how are you? But
yeah, gonna make you so happy.
Food fuels you. I also do intermittent fasting, which is how I keep myself feeling and looking good. And also I find that when I am doing that, I enjoy my food more when I am eating, number
Yeah.
one. And also I have so much more brain space. Because in the morning, I'm not like, what am I going to have for breakfast?
It's
all
all
about
about
my
fasting
good
is
lunch.
brilliant.
It's
I think
so
it's
good.
so good. And I go through little waves of it. And sometimes I do it without even realizing now, you know, like the times. And I think where I eat with my children quite early. That sort of helps me stick to intermittent fasting without it being like a conscious decision. But I do think it's really, really
it's
good.
so amazing, honestly. For me, I do mine like I start eating slightly later in the day.
Yeah.
But it's not just good because it keeps me in shape to some degree, because I'm not the biggest workout person.
There's so
I'm
many
not
health
gonna lie.
benefits though.
But it's so many health benefits. Then it keeps my mind really clear. And like when I want to achieve something or do something for Enoléh or try and think of a new idea, I need a really clear mind. And I love that.
We need a clear mind, girl.
Right?
That is when the days are really daying. We need a clear mind. That will help us. Thank you so much for coming in and talking about this. Honestly, I'm watching on. I'm so proud, and everything you want it to be, it is. And I just know it's going to keep growing at that pace because what you're doing is incredible. And I think you do, like you say, you're someone that is a bit of an emotional purchaser. And I think it's clear the emotion behind Enoléh is so crystal clear. You've articulated it like to perfection. And I'm obsessed with marketing. I'm obsessed with branding, and I'm always someone that notices those details, and it's not lost on me. So I love it, and keep going. We need to do it again. We need to meet up in a year and have a conversation again and be
You heard it, guys.
okay,
we're back.
happened?
We're gonna be
you're
back.
always back. You're always welcome here. But thank you so
Rosh,
much.
thank you so much.
I've loved it, and congratulations. It's so good to see.
Thank you.
Don't forget to follow us on Apple and Spotify or wherever you get your podcast to make sure that you don't miss out, because next time we're going to be talking to another incredible lady who launched. If, like me, you're a watcher, then please follow us on YouTube and don't forget to like and subscribe.